Welcome to Sweethearts or Rivals. I'm Charla.
I'm Justin.
What's on our table today?
7 Wonders, The Duel.
The Duel is a game that plays 2 players only.
Yeah.
It can take you about 30 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
And they recommend that you can play it with ages, I've forgotten, 10 and up.
Right on.
Published by Repost Productions.
Cool. All right, what do you think of the components of 7 Wonders Duel?
I think the components are good, and I think they are the same quality as the 7 Wonders.
Yeah.
The cards are smaller,
Mm-hmm.
but I mean, it comes in a smaller box, so you have to put smaller cards.
Yeah. I actually really like the smaller cards.
Me too. And I think because of the pyramid style, they had to be smaller as well.
Yeah.
But the cardboard for the money is nice and thick.
Mm-hmm.
There's only a little bit of a board, but it's also nice and thick.
Mm-hmm.
And all the art is consistent with the 7 Wonders game.
It's true.
And I like that. I'm glad that they didn't change any of the art.
Yeah.
That they kept it the same.
Yeah, same iconography, same artwork,
Yes.
same feel. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, I like that a lot.
Mm-hmm. Cool. The cards for the Wonders, they seem just because they bend a little bit, they warp a little bit.
They are warped a little bit.
So
yeah.
I'm not sure what that is. Maybe it needed a linen finish, but a very, very, very minor quibble.
What about the strategy, which is the strategy, tactics, and luck?
There's an interesting blend of them in here, especially with the addition of the military/scientific victory possibility. Because if you're going to go for them, that is going to require a lot of strategic thinking. You might have to give up on a balanced game of points to focus and zero in on that, and that's very tricky. But it's really neat that it's included in the game. So there's a strategy. Now the tactics. In this game, there's a lot of tactics, and it's a very different feel between the duel and the drafting from regular 7 Wonders. Because regular 7 Wonders, you've got a hand of cards, so you've got a lot of choices, and you choose one. That's random and tactical, but at the same time, there's a lot of choice. Whereas with the whole pyramid, there's a whole lot more strategy and looking down the road built into that tactical and random.
Yeah.
Some of the cards are face up, some of them are face down. There's 3 cards that are out and you don't know what they are. So there's some randomness there. At the same time, you can look ahead. If I take this card, it is going to make these options available for you. Which if you take that card, it's going to make these options available for me. So it's a much more unique blend of all 3 in one very cool mechanism that 7 Wonders has, but not in the same way.
Right.
Yeah.
And I actually prefer the pyramids.
Yeah. I didn't at first.
I like them a lot.
I really enjoy drafting and kind of the strategy you can build with that. So the first time I played this, I wasn't really noticing all that went into the pyramid or the different schemes. But now that we've played it several times, I'm noticing how well that works and how you can use it to your advantage. So, for example, in the game we just played, there was a science you needed, and there's a science you needed, and there's a military I needed. But there was one card blocking the science and military. And I thought, if I take this science, she's going to do that, and it's not really going to work out because it's going to open up a bunch of things. If I take this, suddenly both sciences are available for you.
I have to choose.
And you're not going to be able to take either of them because you're going to have to take
the military. Right, because you would have won military.
So there's all these really awesome decisions, planning. It's tactical, it's random, it's just all of them, and it's really awesome.
I actually prefer it.
Yeah.
Because I'm kind of only lukewarm on the drafting. I don't think it's so awesome. I mean, it's a good functional mechanic. But that's all it is. I mean, I find rolling dice more exciting than drafting cards.
Really?
Well, if I were to compare mechanics that I feel quite similar about.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I like drafting cards. All right, so really awesome blend of all of them. A little bit of chaos from the player interactiveness because what you choose to do is going to affect the opponent big time.
Yeah.
And there is a really, really nice kind of like, oh gosh, do I really do this moment a lot of the time, because if you take that one card, it's going to reveal some new cards, which gives the opponent new options. And so that's really well done in this game.
Yeah.
So what do you think of the complexity of the Duel?
I don't think it's any more complex or simple than regular Seven Wonders.
Yeah.
I mean, the only difference is this one's only for 2 players, and then it's got the pyramid instead of the drafting.
Yeah.
And I find the pyramid is more interesting than complicated, so I don't feel it's complex at all.
Okay.
Yeah, and trying to teach it to someone else, I mean, I probably wouldn't unless you weren't available to play.
True, yeah.
And the rulebook was as good as the Seven Wonders one. I find the style in which the Seven Wonders rulebooks are written are laid out really good, and there's not anything extra in them to like complicate trying to read the rulebook.
Yeah.
And I mean, I don't read rulebooks often, but I have referred to the Seven Wonders rulebook and the Duel rulebook, and not having read through the whole thing, it was really easy to find what I was looking for.
Yeah.
Which is nice.
Yep. The iconography, which is the same kind of iconography as Seven Wonders, makes it a little bit easier to get into. But at the same time, there are some small changes that can be confusing sometimes. Like if you discard a card for money, it's not $3.
Oh, yeah.
It's $2 plus 1 for every gold card you have. So little things like that you have to remember that are different.
Yeah, because if you've played Seven Wonders a lot, then automatically your brain just goes to the old way, because I mean all the components look the same.
Yeah.
So I do get that mixed up a little bit, but it's not a big deal.
No.
You keep me on track.
Yeah, it just takes a little bit of playing to get used to it.
And the iconography, I find the rule books are excellent for explaining the iconography, because they always have one little page that's just a summary of all the icons.
Yep.
Which is so simple to look up. So you don't even have to memorize all the icons if you don't want to.
Exactly. And the iconography is done really well. So let's say you got into Seven Wonders Duel without ever having played Seven Wonders. That's not a crazy barrier to get into the game at all.
For sure. And what about the playability?
The playability. First of all, the theme and the mechanisms. I actually find Seven Wonders Duel, they work more thematic than original Seven Wonders. Mostly because of the way the science and the military work. Because before, military didn't really give you a lot except for some points at the end of the game, but not a ton, or sorry, at the end of each age, and not a lot.
Well, it didn't feel like, like it's kind of more like a tug of war.
Yes, in the Duel.
Yeah, like an ebb and flow, which might actually feel more like a battle.
Exactly.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, in a battle, you're going to push forward or you're going to get pushed back.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that does seem more thematic.
And then on top of that, if you push forward to a certain point, you can destroy some of their stuff, which leads to just money being lost. But still, again, it feels thematic. And the points only come into it at the very end. How well did you do overall points? But the fact that you can, if you can push it to a certain point, win just automatically, very thematic.
Yes.
Nothing like that in regular Seven Wonders. Yep. The science also very much more thematic. In original Seven Wonders, all science did was give you this crazy point scoring scheme, which was interesting, but doesn't really make a lot of thematic sense.
Well, it kind of does, because you have to do a lot of math and science.
This is true.
I'm just saying.
No, it's true. Very true. Whereas in the Duel, one, if you get enough science, you can just win through a scientific victory.
Yeah, because you're way smarter than the other person.
That's very cool thematic. But also, when you're collecting science, if you get 2 symbols that are the same, you get a progress token, which for free, and it just opens up new special abilities, points, money.
Which is thematic, scientifically speaking.
Very.
Yeah.
So I find because of those 2 things, Seven Wonders Duel is much more thematic than Seven Wonders. Everything else where you're collecting the different things is still thematic in the way that Seven Wonders was. I do like some of the other rule changes, like when you discard a card for money, you get $2 instead of 3, but then you get an extra $1 for every yellow card, which are the commerce cards, or the money-making cards. So that's thematic. When you have to buy a resource, you can buy any resource you want, which I like, because that's the thing I did not like about Seven Wonders. But if the person next to you is producing it, you have to pay extra because they have the market cornered.
And if they have a lot, you have to pay a lot more.
Yeah.
Because it's $1 for every symbol.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Very cool. So I find Duel takes some thematic elements from Seven Wonders and makes them more thematic. In a very satisfying way. Cool.
Awesome.
We don't have to worry about scaling with number of players. It's 2 players only, which I love. I think this is an awesome 2-player game.
Yep.
The game length is super quick, which is also really cool. And the replayability comes down to the fact that each age is going to set up in that pyramid. Or I think age 3, it's kind of not like a different kind of stack. But anyway.
Yeah, it's like a circle almost. Yeah.
But because of how those set up, every game is going to play out differently, which is very cool.
Yeah, because it's such a tactical game.
Yeah.
That it's not going to feel too samey because you're always looking at what's available and you have to make the best choice at the time.
When we started the playthrough game that we played today, I had no plans whatsoever of trying to win through military. What caused that was getting a couple of wonders that had military, and then getting a couple of military cards very early.
Right.
Very tactical, and then suddenly it became a strategy. So, very cool. Next time we play, I'm not going to go into the game thinking, this time let's try science. It's going to just be what comes up.
What gets presented.
Yeah.
And I normally don't go for the science victory because it's so unsure of what's going to come up in each age.
Yeah.
But I mean, at the end of age 1, I had 4 of the science I needed.
Yeah.
So, of course I'm going to go because there's 2 more ages. Surely by the end of 2 ages, I can have 6 sciences.
That's cool.
You'll have to watch the video to see how that turned out.
Yep.
Yeah.
Right. So, does Seven Wonders the Duel have the awesomeness or the cuteness?
Seven Wonders is more awesome than cute.
Yes, very much so.
Just because it's a more of a realistic-y kind of art. It's pretty and stuff.
Yep.
But it's not cute.
Okay.
The gameplay itself is awesome, so that's why I will give it on the awesomeness versus cuteness scale.
Me too. Definitely awesome. Totally awesome.
We usually ask now what game group it would be good for. It's going to be good for couples.
Yes.
Because you can only play it with 2 players.
That is correct. And you have to kind of really buy into the whole Civ building, tableau building style of game. If you're not really into that kind of theme, I don't know how fun this would be.
Yeah, I agree. And also, another situation it would be good for is if, say, you had a really large group of people that met regularly. I don't know if people do this, but say if you all put your money in to get games for the group, that could happen.
Yeah.
I mean, this would be a really good game for, like, say you have a lot of 5-player games, but normally on game night 7 people show up.
Yeah.
Then you've always got those 2 people that, you know, are kind of, what am I going to play, or what are they going to play?
Yeah.
So, I mean, it would work for that as well, too.
Yeah. Especially where how quick it is. Yeah.
Yeah.
Awesome. So, are we trading or are we keeping the Duel?
I would say we're going to keep the Duel.
Oh, yeah.
And we can trade the 7 Wonders.
No.
What?
I still really enjoy Seven Wonders when you have a nice big group.
I guess. I know we did compare and contrast it a little bit to Seven Wonders. Is there anything else you wanted to say about the compare and contrast?
When it comes to a 2-player game of Seven Wonders, the Duel
is the way to go.
Far superior.
Yeah.
Yeah. Far superior.
See, I think I'm just not struck. I might be played out on regular Seven Wonders.
Gotcha.
Because the last few times that we did pull it out was when we had big groups. And I mean, it plays really, really well, Seven Wonders Original, with big groups because you're all doing everything at the same time.
Yeah, simultaneously.
You pass your cards, you pick a card, you play a card. And that round's done, you pass your cards, you pick a card, you play a card.
Yeah.
So it's a really good game for a large group of people because it's not going to add that much time onto the game.
Yeah, no downtime.
But when you play with a large group, you can run into that weird scenario where all the wood is on there and I can only buy from these 2 people.
Yeah, I don't like that either.
So it kind of, you have to be more focused in the beginning on resources sometimes in a large group, which, I don't know. Sometimes there's just really cool cards you want to buy and you don't want to pass them. And then you're stuck
with no resources.
Yeah. So, I don't know. I think Seven Wonders is a good game for probably 4 players.
Yeah, 4 or 5.
Maybe 5.
Yeah.
But, I don't know. Once you get that 7th player,
It's a little bit too much.
it kind of soured me, I guess, on the game. It's not as fun.
There you go.
But this one, really, you get that feel from Seven Wonders, but it's awesome.
Yeah.
So,
I would say that Seven Wonders Duel is a superior game to Seven Wonders. Period. But
you can only play it with 2 players.
Exactly.
So,
yeah. There you
yeah.
go. Right on. Did we finish Seven Wonders Duel as Sweethearts or Rivals? We finished as Rivals.
I almost said Sweethearts to get a reaction out of you, but there's no way in a war tug of war situation that you're going to end the game as Sweethearts.
Nope. No, especially with all the mind games that can happen with the way the cards are splayed out.
Yeah.
Yeah. Definitely a rivalry game of awesomeness.
Right. I agree.
Cool. That's Seven Wonders the Duel.
Thanks for watching.
Thanks a lot.
We'll see you in the next video.
Laters. Now, what about the complexity of the duel?
I don't find it complex. I don't think.
Thanks, cat. Our cat. She loves us.
No, she doesn't.
All right. Are we going to trade it or keep it?
I can't see us trading this game. Hi, Jinx.
Kitty giving some Jinxie love.
Oh, they must be hungry because they're really interrupting us right now, and it's going to be a choppy edit. I'm just going to leave her unless she wrecks my hair.
There you go.
Oh, gee.
Wrecking your hair.
Yeah, we'll just put it as a blooper.